some hiking, okay? Even if you just took the car, could you make it from Richfield all the way this way to Cedar City? No, you can't. You know, I don't know the mileage on that. Let's say it's about 160 plus 50. It's probably about 220 miles. Well, in theory, I guess you could. But let me tell you, man, these cars, they claim the fame is they get 315 miles. This car, I never got 315 miles from day one. You use things, you know what I'm saying? I got 285, but you use the lights, you use the stereo, you use the air conditioner, you use the heater on a trip. So it cuts into your range. But anyways, the bottom line, I did a trip to Idaho with this car, and I took the car and I had just two bikes. I had my dirt bike and I had the electric mountain bike here. I didn't take this bike. And I did that trip all the way up to Palisades. It's about 650 there, I think. 650 back, I think, somewhere in that range. So doing the math with my Jeep that gets 13 miles to a gallon, I do have a vehicle that can do all this stuff. You know, I've got a Jeep Wrangler Sahara Unlimited, and that's what I used to take. And I will take it also in the future for trips like this. But that trip with that Jeep would have cost me probably about $500 in gasoline. Now, I took this car and did that same trip, and I used the generators at the Palisades a little bit. I didn't really have to use them as much as I did, but I did use them to get back to Idaho Falls. But the bottom line, it cost me $250 to charge this car to do that same trip. And yes, the bad part was I did have to unhitch the trailer. I think I stopped for charging 8 times, and I did have to unhitch the trailer 2 times, I think. That's the only thing that made it a deal breaker, because unhitching that fucking trailer, especially now with all that extra weight on it, unhitching the trailer is a kind of a deal breaker for sure. But on this trip, I don't have to unhitch it. You don't have to unhitch in Mesquite. You don't have to unhitch in Cedar City. You don't have to hitch in Beaver. You don't have to unhitch in Richfield. And now I'm on my way back, so it's the same story. But I was talking to some people in Beaver, and they're putting in another 20 or so charging stations up there, and a lot of them are going to be drive-through, where they're making drive-through charging stations, because in the future, people are going to be doing what I'm doing right here. In the extreme future, there won't be any gasoline cars. So I'm doing this now because in the future, this is what they're going to be doing. Do you follow me? Plus, I'm saving money. Yes, it does take time to charge the car. It takes, I don't know, 50 minutes, 45 minutes, 40 minutes sometimes, depending on how many cars are getting to charge at the same time. The more cars, the longer it takes. But I have to stop anyway. I like to stretch my legs. I like to get maybe a cup of coffee. The dogs have to go pee. So, but I don't normally stop for 45 minutes. I usually stop for like 20, 25 minutes. So that is kind of a pain in the ass when you have to use that extra time to charge your car. But you kind of relax, you enjoy yourself, you look around, you know, different highway and byway stops. Oh, there's a pull through a charge station in Nephi also. It's on your way to Palisades. There's a pull through charge station in Pocatello. Now, the charge stations in Idaho Falls, you have to unhitch.